Friends, I hope you are well. Welcome to Dylan's Money Channel 2. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe to this channel so I can get this thing up and running and really out there. I want to do more with this channel. We are going to talk about Sofi. I want to watch a video with Tom Lee because it's really, and it's going to be a reaction video, but essentially he says things in this video. It's not long at all, just a few little minutes here, but there's things that are happening in the market that are going to really affect the market, but not only the market, individual stocks. Sofi is going to be one of those stocks, 100%. Sofi in general, I do believe still is undervalued. I think this is a $50 stock at least this year, all day for what it's doing with revenue that we've had. Obviously, for the people that are negative about it, that it hasn't hit $1 billion, it needs to grow faster, all that kind of stuff. I get it. But listen, at the end of the day, this stock, this company is doing everything we need it and want it to do as investors. It is moving up at a very fast rate. Quarterlies are projected to go higher each time we come out with a quarterly. $1 billion quarterly could be in this revenue stream this year, at least by Q4. If not, we'll just push it to Q1 of 2026 here. But I think by Q4, we stand a lot of chance to hit $1 billion quarterly, if not get very close. So what we're going to talk about here is how this can happen, why I think it's going to happen, and two, the fact that, stock price wise, per share here with Sofi, is going to jump dramatically here in August and then in September more than likely. In this buying Sofi right now at this 21, 22, 23 good day, what we're trying to get back to here, this is going to be cheap for what you're going to pay with Sofi for what's coming. I believe that 100%. Man, what a great moment for investors to get into Sofi. So let's watch this video real fast with Tom Lee. It's really good. It's really insightful. I am ride or die Tom Lee. I will not speak negative of Tom Lee. Tom Lee has been very bullish on the market, last year, even all this year, but even last year, towards the end of last year, Tom was telling people to buy the market, buy, and everyone was going, whoa, we can't buy the market. What are you talking about? We're going to have an economical collapse. These tariffs are going to destroy everything, blah, blah, all this kind of stuff. And now, and Tom was going, well, there's uncertainty. We don't know exactly what's going to happen to the tariffs. We've never really dealt with this, but the conversation has really and this isn't a political conversation by any means, but as we are in the market right now, we have to go off of what we know. Right now, the tariffs are kind of having the opposite effect on the market right now. Now, obviously, things could change here, but what we know is that things are really going the opposite of where we were being told they were going to go by a lot of the general public with investing. Okay, so things have taken quite a turn here with the market. This is huge V-shaped recovery since February, since we had this first big tariff push. Before that was DeepSeek, uncertainty, and January we hit all new highs. February, bloop, went falling off the cliff, and then since then we have just been riding. And Tom Lee, I think he even says it in this interview, believes that the market will close out possibly at 7,000. The S&P 500 will close out at 7,000 points here by the end of the year. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of points. That's a lot of money that we are going to get in a short amount of time here. So let's dig into it. Let's see what's happening here. And I think this is going to be really, really good. So here we go.
Let's ask Tom Lee. He is FundStrat's head of research, a CNBC contributor, and he, as you see, is at Post 9. What's up with this market? We tired? Have we run out of gas? What's the story?
I think the market's consolidating and maybe trying to get direction from what the market does, because we did gain 28% from the April lows. We got to digest that. Now we're in August, like the dog days of August, where liquidity is lower. And I think that we're still holding our breath because we're in a period where the Fed isn't going to make an interest rate decision until September. So some of the key macro is kind of on hold. So I think markets are wait and see, but I'd say that pullbacks have been shallow.
Is it fair to say there's a more sober view from investors about stocks? You've been suggesting that this is a hated V-shaped recovery. even as we continue to climb this wall of worry until most recently where we've sort of sputtered in place.
That's right. I mean, it's definitely the most hated. I can attest to it from our conversations with clients. We can see it measured in surveys like AAII, where there's stubborn bearishness net still. And then we did the rounds, Fundstrat did the rounds with a lot of our institutional clients the last 2 weeks. And I think folks are very cautious, which is actually good for stocks. They're cautious because, of course, markets have moved and our clients tend to be valuation sensitive. But I think adding to their frustration is that during that April downturn, many were selling their best names because they were trying to get defensive, and then they haven't fully reloaded yet. So I think that's why there's still room for stocks to go up.
So your clients are valuation sensitive, which makes me almost want to laugh, because is anybody valuation sensitive to what's been going on in the market? We're historically well above the averages on the prices that you're willing to pay for stocks.
Yes. I mean, what we usually tell our clients, but really at the core, any fundamental investor is going to use valuation as really one of their anchors, is that the stock market had 6 stress tests in the last 5 years, from COVID to the bullwhip supply chain, to the fastest inflation cycle in history, to the fastest Fed hikes in history, then to the Trump tariffs, and then, of course, U.S. bombing nuclear facilities of Iran. Those are things that could cause catastrophes for earnings, but instead the S&P earnings have actually grown. So I think we're in the process of re-rating the S&P. So I actually think multiples are continue drifting higher.
Okay, so let's talk about other so-called knocks on the market. Valuation, obviously, one of them. They say there's too much speculation. You look at some of these stocks, meme stocks, low-quality stocks, cult stocks, and other things that have gone up a ton. Now, you're the chairman of BitMine, which is new, right? Your role there is new. And I'm sure there's a lot of great feeling about you and the role and what's taking place there. BitMine's up 65% this week, okay? It's up 1,000% since you became chairman. Respectfully, I mean, come on. What's happening with these stocks? What's happening with some of this fervor that feels like it's in the market?
Well, I think the dearth of IPOs over the last 5 or 6 years has shrunk the number of stocks in the U.S. stock market. There's not even 5,000 listed stocks anymore. So these names that are IPOing are scarce, and that's why they go up. BitMine is really, in a simple way, you can value it on how much Ethereum it holds. When I joined as chairman, it had $4 of Ethereum held per share. That number is well over $25 today. So the stock isn't even trading at a high multiple of its Ethereum holdings. And it's well north of 25, but we've disclosed 25 previously.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. But Ethereum, that's a whole nother conversation. But which I think everyone should buy Ethereum. He actually, if you care, he actually said in another interview a day before this one that he believes, him and his firm, that Ethereum is going to $16,000 a coin here soon. You might want to start buying Ethereum. But what we got out of that, what I was trying to get this to look like here is that essentially, we're in this bubble right now. So we've got August right here, which we're going to see what happens with August. Even Tom Lee said last week that he believes August is going to be the biggest push in the market. Now, have we seen that? Is this it? Is the rest of August going to be a little bit of sell-off until we get to September? I don't know, because a lot of investors right now, even that, are saying, hey, it looks like we're getting a rate cut in September because the job reports, everything, and right now it's not just Trump wanting it, it's most investors, it's most people calling, we need a rate cut, we want a rate cut, do a freaking rate cut. So it looks like a rate cut more than likely, even if it's a little bitty one, it's going to happen in September. But even at that, it was kind of projected that there was going to be a rate cut. I mean, this has kind of been what we've been told for a long time now, that we were going to have a rate cut in September. So with that, what is that going to do? It's going to push the market hard. And here's where I think SoFi, you as an investor with SoFi, things could heavily change here. So that's next month. So we just had earnings here with SoFi. They were banging. They were great. SoFi is at this $20 position. It's still going to grow undoubtedly. It's still undervalued. I think a lot of us would argue that are in it, and know about the company, know what's happening, been following the quarterlies, everything, how much their customer basis is growing. It's crazy. Everything, loan programs, I mean, what they're offering people, it's fantastic. They are a growing bank. They are a lion that is growing up. So with that, SoFi stands all of the chance to really be in this special moment where it can just jump frog into bigger numbers here and probably hold and sustain those numbers. So SoFi here, if we keep this momentum going in this $20 zone where SoFi is looking to go, it's wanting to climb more, and today was an obvious, answer for that. So, I believe that SoFi, we could see SoFi jump into $30-$40 here in September if we get this rate cut, depending on how hard we can push. SoFi can be pushed here in August going into September if we get a rate cut. Why I say that is because obviously the market's going to go parabolical crazy for a rate cut. Now, obviously there will be a sell-off somewhere in that. There will be a new, level out, but it will go for a while. What I'm trying to tell you is this is a moment, a small little blimp where you can buy SoFi at this $20 position, because if we get rate cuts, more than likely what it's happening here, I find it hard to believe with all the drama that's gone around right now with the situation that we're not going to get rate cuts. When we get rate cuts in September, let's just say, we're going to see a lot of our bank stocks go crazy. SoFi has the most to gain out of a lot of banks right now because it's still very undervalued. Even when we get into September, we're going to be talking about the next quarterly coming up very soon. Investors know that. Big money knows that. They're already projected to hit this next quarterly 100%. They're still growing. They're still a very growing company right now. So I would say that SoFi stands all the chance to really leapfrog into some new double-digit numbers here, whether it be 30, 40, and maybe by the end of the year, with the market pushing along, $50 is a real projection. Friends, it sounds crazy, but look at Robinhood. Robinhood hit that $1 billion quarterly here months back. And, Robinhood was a $20, $30, $40 stock before then. It wasn't even that, actually. And then that $1 billion quarterly came out, and it just went crazy high. So what I'm trying to tell you more than not is look at this time where we're at. This is a moment right now in time. Obviously long term with SoFi, I think it's going to be a phenomenal company to hold, phenomenal company to grow with, stock, everything. But this little blimp right now that we find ourselves in, this could really, even if this is a swing trade for you, like, well, I see the setup, I'm gonna push into this. I think something's going to happen here. Something really big is going to happen here. So that's kind of what I want to say. I hope that helps someone to kind of see the map of what I'm seeing right now with SoFi, that it has this chance to really jump into some higher numbers where people go like, whoa, where did that happen? What just happened here? Well, all of that I just said could happen in September, and that's really going to push some bigger numbers. Friends, I want to wish you all the best of luck in the world. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.